Mole. Mole.
Hi, I'm Dan,
I'm Can.
and this is a Candid Conversation.
Mole.
Welcome back, heathens and heretics. This is our new digs, our new format, and hopefully everything's working right. Done some tests. I hope I solved all the crackling issues, but you're going to find out when I find out if we did or not. So, forewarned, there may be a little, but we're working on it. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out one way or another. But welcome back. We are on the air.
We have to tell you so you know.
So,
On air. If we do this.
now
we're
we're
back.
on. Yeah, all right.
So cheesy.
We are cheese balls. So
Part of this plant dropped into my cup.
Candi doesn't like this plant anymore because she wants to have a full bush in between us.
And you'll hear the same joke in a couple of weeks. Anyways,
So wait for that.
I can't remember what I wanted to talk about today, but we could start with the story that happened this morning if you want to, because apparently you want to talk about it.
Mousegate?
Did you say Mousegate?
Mousegate. All right. So don't judge us. We're innocent here. But we live in a residential urban area, but there are plenty of critters around. A couple years ago, we had a family of foxes in our backyard
That was so cute. Though.
made a den in our shed. It was
It was like under the shed.
it was 2 adult foxes and 5 little babies running around.
They were adorable. We would sit in our kitchen window and watch them, and our neighbors would sit out in their kitchen window and watch them. They would just run around in our yard and their yard, and they were playful and they were adorable. And yeah, it was nerve-wracking a little bit. But I'm glad our kids weren't little.
Yeah.
Like they were all teenagers. But we were careful with our dogs going out because our dogs are small.
Yeah.
Which you might want to see.
So we had that.
Let's bring her up. Oops, I just hit my microphone.
Well, you're still going, so we're good. But we've had foxes in our backyard. There's coyotes that have been around the area, running through people's lawns before. And every now and then we get a mouse or something. A mice. So, our garage has some stuff in it that attracts them. We try to keep that limited as much as possible.
It's not food. It's like paper. It's like boxes.
Boxes and stuff like that, seed and whatnot. So they get in there every now and then. We try to.
Or maybe they're getting through our puppy dog door.
And every now and then, sometimes they get inside, but we get them. So
we're going
don't
to
judge
solve
us.
this problem.
We're not.
I'm judging us.
We're not filthy people.
No.
We just have a warm,
Dan.
inviting house.
No, it's disgusting. We need to solve the problem.
We are solving it one mouse at a time.
No, that's not the solution. We need to figure out exactly where they're getting in.
There's a couple areas, so we're looking. We'll be fixing them here in the next week. I got surgery tomorrow. When you listen to this, it had been 2 days ago, and I'll be able to see better and see what I'm doing and all that. But so this morning, I'm at work getting ready to clock in, and I get a phone call from what it says on my phone as Candi Life Partner.
Yeah, it was my full first and last name.
Her full government. She didn't like that, so I changed it.
And I have him in my phone as my favorite human. I'm going to change that. Don't you worry. It's going to be, who dis? New phone.
So Candi Life Partner calls.
Brother.
And she's in a frenzy. I could tell right away.
Get
if I get a call,
quick.
If I get a call at that time, something's wrong.
Yeah. I honestly do not call you very much.
Yeah, something's blown up in the house. Yeah, when you call, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't usually call.
Something's happening with the kids.
Really
something's broken at home. Cars were at work.
Yeah, it's usually, you're probably like hate it when you see Life Partner come up because it's like, oh God, what's wrong?
So she's like, Dan, there's something in our cabinet, in our lower cabinets on the ground, not up top with the food or anything. It was a chemical cabinet. So it's moving around, and every time I scream, it stops, but then it keeps going again. I need you to come home. So,
Well, let me tell the story
yeah,
from
go
my
ahead.
point of
All
view.
right, go ahead. Jump in.
I'm getting up in the morning. I'm doing my normal routine. I'm getting my coffee going, taking my vitamins, emptying the dish. I'm emptying the dishwasher, and Haley, I usually put her out in the morning. She goes outside, and I hear a weird sound. And I'm like, I have the dishwasher open, so I'm like, what was that? Because it's right near the dishwasher. I was like, what was that sound? Maybe it's Haley outside. And then I keep going, and I hear like, it's not a small sound. It sounds like some huge creature is rummaging around, throwing things, banging things, like is trapped in a net and like clawing and trying to. It sounded like somebody was trying to get out of the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like freaking out. I was like, what the hell is that? I'm like, I froze for a second. Then I run into the living room and stand on the couch. Then I'm like, I have to call
Did you
Dan.
actually stand on the couch?
Yes.
That fits the description I had of you in my mind. So
when I
much.
called you, I was standing on the couch. I wasn't going to stand on the ground because I didn't know if it was going to get the door open and like come at me.
Because I'm laughing to myself on my way back home from work, thinking this is like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Here's
The lady,
my
you just see
wife
her
in her
feet and her
high heels and
yeah, she's
her
got a broom.
polka dotted skirt,
Yeah.
on the chair. Feet bouncing up and down.
Yeah, what I was doing is I knew something was in there because it kept making this sound. So I would bang both my feet. Sorry, Hale. I was banging both my feet. I was clapping my hands and I was saying, hey, stop. And then it would be quiet for a little bit. And then it would start going again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not going to stop until it gets out. There's no way I could have done anything. I have what I learned today is, and I've known this because we had one other mouse one time and I freaked buck out. I do not do well with them. I don't know what the hell? This is from that plant.
Plants coming.
Why is it getting all over me?
You're talking shit about it, so it's coming after you.
Anyways, I didn't know like what was going. I'm so scared of them. And then because I know like subconscious program, like where did this get programmed that I'm so terrified of these little creatures. Like I've seen a mouse outside and it doesn't scare me because I'm not trapped with it. But to think it was in there rummaging around, it sounded like a giant. And I didn't know if it was a mouse. I actually was not thinking mouse. I was thinking like it was a squirrel or a raccoon or an opossum or something like that. Because we've seen these kind of critters in our
bear.
Yeah. But one of my biggest fears, I told you, because we don't always shut the doggy door.
Yeah.
Is that I will come out into the kitchen in the morning and there will be a freaking fox standing there or an opossum or a raccoon. And I don't even know what I would do. But anyways, so the only thing I could think of was banging around, being loud. I'd get down on the floor, do that real quick, and then I'd run back into the living room and jump up on the couch and just stand there.
Yeah.
As I called you and I was waiting for you, and then I just stayed on the couch until you got there.
Yeah. So I call, I get the phone call, and I'm on my way home, and I'm thinking I have that image of Tom and Jerry and swatting at the ground, whatnot, and I get home and Candy's, I've been screaming and yelling, and then it stops for a little bit, but then it starts up and I scream again and yell. Meanwhile, our boy's sleeping.
No, yeah, he texts me. He's like, who's banging on the door? And I didn't see it till later, but then he comes out of his room and he's like glaring at me, and I'm like, there's something in the cabinet. I don't know what it is. Your dad's coming home. And then our daughter,
Sleeps
she's not even remote. Her fan's blowing on her. She's in la la land. She didn't even wake up at all.
She's me.
Yeah.
So I get home.
And Haley did nothing. She's just looking at me while it's making noise. She's just looking at me like, what's your problem? I'm like, do you not hear it? Do you not hear? Why are you not protecting us?
Well, apparently the rat terrier in there's been bred out enough.
Yes.
So I get home and Candy's still in a frenzy. Dishwasher's open,
Heart
nothing's
racing.
put away. She's like, I don't know what it is. It's huge. I'm like, it's probably a mouse. Got caught in a trap or something.
Yeah, he's just all calm.
Thrashing around. She's like, we need to block off this room and all this. She grabs her little divider we have in her basement, sets up this barricade around the cabinet.
With you trapped in there.
She's like, don't get inside with it. You don't know what's in there.
On the outside because I was like, you're like, it could just run around that. But I was like, We don't know if it's tiny. It could be so big it can't get around it, and then its rabid self comes and it bangs right into it. This is my vision.
So I grabbed the flashlight because I'm blind and I can't see without light.
He's just all calm, like.
And I walk over there, and I open up the cover and shine it in there, and I see where I have the trap usually is gone. I'm like, all right, it's probably a mouse, and I kind of scan through it, and I see the mouse in there. And for some reason, it didn't kill it instantly. All of them usually die, but it was a clean hit on it. It was across the neck. No, he's a normal-sized mouse. He's a tough little guy to survive that. He's been flopping and knocking stuff over.
Were you like grossed out to grab it?
No, I know where you can grab it without touching the mouse.
I know, but I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I know you couldn't.
I don't know why I'm like so scared.
What would have freaked you out because you weren't there because you were cowering in the.
I said I'm going in the other room. I can't handle it.
When I picked it up, it started writhing in the. It's just like the tail bang off my arm.
Oh God! I would freak. I would drop it, and then he'd probably get out, and then he'd go running around with it.
But it was like. Like, all right, let's go outside, buddy. Can't throw you in the regular trash because that would not go over well. A regular turd in a punch bowl.
Okay, so that actually brings me to this whole story, which is irrational fear of mine, and you coming in and rescuing it. I mean, never before have I felt so much like you were my knight in shining armor. I was like,
for a mouse.
I can handle so many other things, but it comes to a mouse and I lose it. I need to like do some hypnotherapy around this subject because I don't know. It's irrational. Something's wrong. Anyways, the thing I remembered I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit was like how strange a feeling it is that we deconstructed and then now we're in a government that looks like it does right now. Where we were taught to like fear the future, or not fear it, but like anticipate Jesus returning, right? It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and we're looking for signs and wonders. We deconstruct and we're like, oh, we get to live life. It's going to, like we actually get to explore who we are and all this stuff. And then now we're in this utter chaos. It seems
the end
scary.
times are nigh. They're coming.
This is when Christians are like, oh, it's the end time.
Wars and rumors of wars.
And it's just, it feels a little bit unfair. That's what I'm going to say. It feels a little bit like we're getting gypped. Are you following what I'm saying?
What are we getting gypped from?
Because we don't get to like live, like I feel like in a way, we don't get to like explore and just enjoy life. Now it's we're plunged into more fear.
Maybe this is a lesson to take of use lessons learned in the past and apply it today.
Well, I do think that's true.
The political system and the religious system operate off the same principles.
Fear.
They got the same playbook. It's like in football. There's a lot of people that run a 4-3 defense and a lot of people run a 3-4 defense. But all the people that run a 4-3, it's the same type of base defense, but they have their own little intricacies and play calls and everything else. Religion and politics is the same thing. They're both using the same base defense. They just have different calls. Maybe we're going to blitz more here and do run stops here and this compared to what they're going to do. But it's still the same base of what it's operating out of. So we understand how this works. And I think people that are in the Christian faith would have more amped up fear and just anxiety at this time because of all the things going on.
And they're wanting Jesus to come back real soon. And they're and they think that someone's going to come rescue them. But you also have people who are not in the Christian faith, maybe were, maybe never were, and are still waiting for someone to come rescue them. Like nobody's coming to rescue us, guys.
Well, that's why we elect the people.
Work our way out of this.
It doesn't matter if it's Trump or anyone else. We elect people because we want them to rescue us from it. But they created they're the ones that hyped up all these problems that we have.
They're creating the problems, and then they're supposed to be the solution to the problems.
So the shit that's going on in Minnesota that we talked about last week, that was based off hyped up and falsified information. That there was this huge immigrant problem, that the immigrants were depleting our healthcare system, they were depleting our tax stockpiles, they were just milking the system for everything. And it just simply wasn't true. When you looked at the facts of things, it was a small percentage that they were actually abusing, which means that only a small percentage of them were doing this, and that there's plenty of people that have been established in this country and ran the bars and stripes themselves during the Civil War that are on these programs and are milking the system for what it is. So those are the issues if you want to address that. But instead of that, we want to put in this irrational fear of it's foreigners that are taking over, and it's easy to spot them. They sound different than us. They look different than us. They act different than us. They eat different than us. So we're going to put out this irrational fear and look through the campaigns. They're eating our cats and dogs. They're stealing all this
they're
shit.
throwing all this crap at us.
None of it was factual.
And most people, I would say the mass majority are just sway over here, sway over here, sway, look, back and forth.
Just like the Christian faith put out, well, if you don't believe like us, then you're going to die and you're going to spend eternity in the torments of hell and the pits of fire, tormented by the devil. Well, the political party in this case is saying, if we don't correct this immigration party and start deporting all of them, then we're not going to have any. You're not going to have any health care that's affordable, which we still don't, never had for the longest time.
It's not them. That's the.
You know, you're not going to get your tax money here. Social Security is going to be gone.
We'll keep our eyes on everything, but those in power with the money that are actually controlling things.
So they created a problem,
creating all the problems,
and then they said they're going to take care of the problem. And in taking care of the problem, they're actually spending more of our tax money, which is depleting our resources. So we're not going to get the roads made. We're not going to get schooling taken care of. We're not going to get health care taken care of. You're causing all this anxiety
We're
and everything.
so divided. We're not working together because we're fighting with each other. You can see it in the comments. You can see it in posts. You can see it on the streets. You know, it's, you know, estrangement is an all-time high, and a lot of it has to do with the political stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, all of this, we deconstruct. All of us who have come out of that way of thinking, that fear-driven message, and now we're living in and you can look at this at least two ways. You can look at it as like, oh crap, we're getting gypped, like I said at the beginning. Or you can look at it like, I know how they play, and I'm not going to fall for it.
And I think we have to get into that because when the good man got rid of all the demons inside of himself, he forgot to sweep out the house and bind all the spirits outside, and he left the doors open, and everything got worse before. Okay. When we got rid of the Christian faith, we were subjective to look for something to replace that. Yeah, to replace that. And we did a pretty decent job of not finding a different cult to fall into or anything like that. But did we get lured into a political anxiety and fall into that system of fear and everything else? So they played off that perfectly. They're like, oh.
And a lot of us do. And the thing is, it's like, yes, there are problems with the political situation. And yes, you want to do what you can to push forward kindness and love and inclusion and resist those other things that they're trying to push on people, right? You want to create unity and not division, and actually learn how to see people.
Yeah.
But we all kind of experience that swing because you're very suggestible when you come out of, you're very suggestible when you are in these high control religions, and so you're going to be very suggestible as you come out.
Oh, definitely.
To another program. That's why a lot of people jump into another religion or some sort of religion-like system where it's like, and there's spiritual groups that are like, you have to believe like us to be, you know.
Yeah.
And this is the only way. And and so I think, we have kind of like kept ourselves, we've kind of got a good system of like, is this something I would want to, and there's like this website you can go to kind of see if you're in a cult, you know, there's like, but a lot of people could get swept up in those things. And, and I would say that, you know, far left probably is there's a lot of similarities to far right. Say it's,
well, that's what we've talked about in a previous episode, or an episode coming like it was recently, where you get on that pendulum swing, you know, you're going this way or this way. Well, the pendulum doesn't stop here. It just keeps going and touches. So when you get so extreme, you're meeting back up together again.
Yeah.
So the far left and far right are in the same spot.
Yeah, and we're talking about extreme far right and
Yeah.
extreme far left, and then there's a lot of us in the middle who like we don't we don't care how other people live their lives as long as they're not hurting themselves and others. You live your life the way you want to. I may or may not agree with it, but that's just my opinion, and that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. Doesn't need to be my opinion. Doesn't need to be legislated. My beliefs don't need to be legislated, nor do yours on me. And I think that's where a lot of people actually would fall.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're so divided. Like we just put everybody in a box. If you like anything about one it's a whole ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
But we can also look at this whole thing and go, okay. We know that they're using fear, and it's important for us to know this so that we, one, don't stick our heads in the sand and just become so paralyzed by it, because it can easily lead us into like a state of shutdown where
Mm-hmm.
we're scrolling, just doom scrolling, feeding ourselves more of it, or we're just checking out. We can't talk about politics. I can't handle it. Not even the facts. I don't even want to know what's going on. Like we know people who don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
They just don't want to hear about it. And I'm a very sensitive person, so I have to be careful of listening to the opinions. I've not watched any of the videos of people being murdered. None of them. I won't watch them. If I know that those are coming up, like it would just stick with me forever. Like even seeing that mouse would have traumatized me. Sorry, like it took me a while to like calm down after that whole episode. But like I know myself, and you need to know yourself. But it's so that you can be in the healthiest of mindsets to make clear decisions of where you can help in this whole as we move forward in the situation that we're all in together. Like we need to know where our place is, and you have to listen to your own self to find out where that is. Like I know that I can help people kind of pay attention to their nervous system and help them learn how to regulate their own nervous system so they can be calmer, connect, because you can't, in this fight flight, you cannot connect with others.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to bridge those gaps. But we need people to have that nervous system balanced so that then you can go and you're helping, even just by having little conversations one-on-one with your loved ones and getting them to understand what's going on, getting them to like wake up, to not just be so passive. When people are being shot in the streets, like this isn't okay. Something's wrong here, because some of these people, they just don't either know or they're just believing, whatever some of these news stations.
Yeah. And I think that's good because it was kind of like the example of the mouse this morning. You were in a frantic and anxious state. And then I came home, calm, relaxed, took care of it. How much did that speak to your nervous system?
My nervous system, like immensely. Yeah.
So if you can go in with someone that's in this anxious state and just kind of soothe them and be like, hey, it's all fear-based. Let's look at the reality. Okay, so there are things that are going on that are awful. Mm-hmm. What's happening in Minneapolis is awful. You can be honest and admit this stuff. It's like, but what, and just kind of lay it out.
First of all, calm yourself, like bring you into the present moment. And then start to figure out what you can do so that you feel like you're doing something. Because you see in the comments all over the place on some of these posts, like, isn't anybody going to do anything? When is somebody going to do something about it? People are marching. People are doing things. People are standing up. I mean, that's how was Alex Petty? Was that his name? Peretti. That's how he got hurt. He was stepping in and helping somebody who would, he was trying to help a woman who was shoved, I think, at some point. But anyways, like, so that you can see where you can help, and it might be more behind the scenes. It might be at a march. We're not all going to be doing the same thing. That's ridiculous. We're all going to do what we intuitively feel is the right place for us. It fits us, but do something, even one-on-one conversations, even talking to your neighbors, talking to your parents, getting people to actually see what's actually going on. And you plant seeds, basically, to use like biblical languages. You're planting seeds in their minds. If their minds are just even a little bit open, because you're being kind. If you're being rude and you're saying you're a bigot, you're a racist, and you start calling them names and you just categorize them like that, they're not going to open up to have their mind change. We need people to change their minds. And it comes from us being calm, getting our nervous system balanced so that we can have the conversations without stirring up fight, flight in them, so that they can connect with us and actually begin to think.
Yeah.
So that's really
And that's
what I
what,
want to talk about.
Yeah, if you want to get people to think, you have to get them out of the emotional state, the anxiety, the stress.
So that part of their brain can turn back on, and they feel connected, they feel safe with you, and they're not going to feel safe if you are not feeling safe.
Because, again, look at Minneapolis. These agents were working out of an emotional state. Anger, probably a little bit of fear, probably a little bit of superiority complex, machismo and all that.
They got to prove to their great leader that they're getting stuff done. So, hey, we'll just,
probably racism and bigotry and everything else in there.
All sorts of white supremacy,
All these emotional things are stirred up in them. So they're going to start acting like that.
And they come in thinking people are thinking these things about them.
Yeah.
And so they're already in a state of wanting to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get awful results from that, like we've seen. What we're saying is if we can kind of de-escalate the situation and get back to a state of actually thinking and talking about it, away from the emotional and all that, and just listing out simple things. And I know that's it's a difficult thing to do in this stuff, but that's where ideally you want to get to.
Well, yeah, think of it this way. We'll go back to the beginning of the story. If Dan would have came home to get the beast that was in the cupboard, and he would have been all frantic, and he would have been like, oh my God, I don't know what it is. I don't know. What do you think that would have done? We wouldn't have solved the problem. We'd both be freaking out, and probably fighting with each other, trying to figure out what to do. But because he was calm and like, I
don't know, Margot.
I trusted that he was just very calm, and I was just like, how? Just flower flashlight, open the cover just a little bit, and I was just like, I wish I could do that, but I'm not there with the mouse, but I can help with your nervous system. I promise.
Just don't bring a mouse. Don't bring a mouse to the session, otherwise you're in trouble.
Well, if it's online, that's your mouse. It's not going to touch me. It's not that I can't see
don't
a mouse.
Your mouse shouldn't touch her. Keep your mouse in your house.
Keep the mouse in the house.
Friends reference, if you know. So, all right. So, yeah, it's all about dealing with anxiety. So, when you're dealing with this stuff, think about the mouse and maybe how you can get to that regulated state again. So, all right. Well, thanks for showing up and listening. We got to go. Let us know what you think of the new format and how things look and all that. Leave us comments.
It's a work in progress.
If you're listening on YouTube, leave us, give us a like, subscribe, and follow. We appreciate that greatly. We love seeing numbers climb. If you got a moment, leave us a comment. We love seeing comments and respond to all our comments. So do that. We appreciate that greatly. If you're listening on a regular streamer, audio streamer like Spotify, Apple, go up and give us 5 stars and a review. Helps us out a great deal. And then leave us a comment if you got a moment. We love hearing comments on there too, and we'll respond to that also. And then if you want other stuff that we're doing, go down below in the description, and we'll have all our links listed down there. The main one's dannycan.com, where we got everything in there about what we're doing. And then Candi broke out a few other ones for shortcuts for some of the odds and ends that she's doing on things, so you can check that out too.
If you want help with your nervous system,
Candi can help.
Balanced. That's something I can do, definitely.
Yes, she can get you balanced, help you get there. So, just go down there in comments, and you'll see those links. Click on that. But other than that, you heathens, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your time, and regulate. Find your center. And breathe.
It's easy to say. It's a little more complicated to do.
Breathe.
Okay.
Oh, and one thing, if you see us looking up like this, that's my visuals on the screens and everything else. So I'm trying not to, but every now and then I got to peek and see what we're doing. So
you could move the camera up higher. I don't think you go any higher. But
no, that's the size it goes. Well,
they don't need to do the logistics behind the screen.
That's why. Well, someone asked me on a TikTok I did, said, "Why are you always looking up at the ceiling?"
Were you looking at what was up?
Because when I do nothing. When I do a TikTok and I don't write a script.
You're like, I'm
I just kind of riff on what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So then when I think, I kind of look up a little bit when I think.
Yeah, that's you trying to get
Yeah.
to the memory. Yeah.
Or what I want to say. Yeah. So I was like, there's nothing up on the ceiling. I was just thinking.
Someone
I look up-
actually asked you that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
No reason. He just aimlessly looks at
Yeah.
nothing.
that's right.
He's also blind in one eye, but he has surgery tomorrow. So
Yep. Anywho. All right. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you later.
bye.
Bye.